I'm here at Micromark TV, and today we're going to talk about the USS Constellation. There were actually four Constellations in the U.S. Navy over the years. The first one is the most famous one, has a rich history and is commonly modeled by modelers all over the world. It was part of the Navy Act of 1794, one of the 6 commissioned ships by George Washington, and it was built in Baltimore. Here's a nice image of the ship back at that time. It was built in Harris Creek in Baltimore in Fells Point, and it was launched in 1797. And this ship had 38, is rated for 38 guns, but carried 48 guns. It really depended on the captain. The captain would sort of decide how many guns, and it would essentially change every time a new captain came on board. It was first used to protect U.S. merchant ships in the quasi-war with France, and that's where it became famous almost instantaneously when it defeated the French ship La Insurente in 1799. The French ship used 12-pound cannonballs, while the Constellation used 24-pound cannonballs. And after just a few volleys, the French captain realized he was overmatched and soon surrendered. The victory for the Constellation was the first of any victory of a ship that was designed and built in America. So it was a huge, huge victory for this young country at the time. This is a portrait of that battle with the French ship, and it's very cool. The Constellation went on to defeat a number of other ships, and of course it's commemorated with a bronze medal, which is a memorial, and it's also got a stamp, as you can see here. Another battle that the ship engaged in was against another French ship called LaVengeance, and there was a lot of maneuvering in that battle, back and forth. It lasted for many, many hours, and it ended in the U.S. Marines boarding the French ship, and basically a gun battle ensued, and the Americans just essentially slaughtered the French, and they weren't able to take the ship. The ship ran aground, but from there, the Constellation, the French started calling it the Yankee Racehorse because it was so fast and able to maneuver so quickly. In the First Barbary War against Yusuf Khomeini of Tripoli, he began harassing merchant ships because he wasn't happy with the tribute by the U.S. when he learned that Algiers was receiving more money than he was, and he demanded $250,000 in additional tribute. President Thomas Jefferson was not happy with that and sent the Constellation and some other ships to blockade Tripoli and protect U.S. ships. And during the War of 1812, the Constellation itself was blockaded by the British ships in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And then finally, during the Second Barbary War, President James Madison declared war on Algiers for intercepting American ships, and the Constellation was sent back to the Mediterranean, where she helped capture an Algerian frigate, and that ended the war very quickly. In 1853, the Constellation was disassembled, and a new Constellation was launched in 1854. There's a lot of information out there and nonprofits that discuss the Constellation. It's been a very important model for scientific models and Micromark. You can go to micromark.com and see the USS Constellation available there, along with our supplies for modeling and tools especially tools for modeling. USS Constellation was a very important ship for this country, and we're proud to offer it at micromark.com.